Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session on engineering for sustainable development. I want to thank the organizers of Future Hacks and AI Go Learning for inviting me to host this session. A little bit about me. My name is Erin Pfeiffer, and I'll be leading today's session. My background is in mechanical engineering and renewable and clean energy. And I have a really cool job with the organization Engineering for Change, which I'll speak to a bit more throughout this session. Also, very importantly, I'm the proud mom of Ruby, a little dog, and Jack, an orange cat. Um, I'm really excited to talk with all of you today and appreciate you joining on a Saturday. If you had asked me when I was in middle school or even high school what I'd end up doing career-wise, I don't think that I would have said engineering. And it wasn't even until midway through college that I learned about how important and impactful engineers can be. So I hope that you all leave this session having learned something new and having opened your eyes to the possibility that engineering holds. So thought we could start first with a quick check-in. So if you could put in the chat your name, what grade you were in, and where you're joining from today. So my name's Erin. I am out of school, and I am joining from Ohio in the United States. So I'm going to put that in the chat. Welcome, Tian Mei, joining from Illinois. I think everyone's feeling a bit shy. That's okay. Um, let's see, Ricky from Pennsylvania, welcome. Arthi from California. This is great. So kind of spread all over. Well, welcome everyone. As we go through the session, if you have any questions or anything kind of pops into your mind, feel free to use the chat feature. Um, so for today's session, I'm going to be talking about engineering for sustainable development. And if any of that or all of that sounds confusing, please don't worry. I will be breaking everything down so that by the end you're able to define what sustainable development is, reflect on the role that engineers play in advancing sustainable development, and be able to connect these concepts to your project for future hacks. So I work for an organization called Engineering for Change, or E4C for short, and we act as a bridge between engineering and sustainable development. We help prepare the global technical workforce, so that could be engineers, architects, computer scientists, to do work that benefits both people and the planet. But maybe taking a step back, what even is engineering? I think it's important to start with this because it can be kind of confusing and engineering is quite broad. And I know I was in college studying engineering and wasn't even entirely sure all that it included. But put very simply, engineering is using established science and math to develop or improve technology. And I know when I hear technology, my mind immediately jumps to computers or phones, but in reality, technology is any end product. So this could be like a chair or a pencil, or really, if you look around, anything that's been made by a human. Um, I'm sure that all of you have engineered something to help you with the problem that you are having. So, for example, let's say you're on a field trip and it's hot outside. You might take a piece of paper and fold it into a fan and then use that to fan yourself and cool down. The science behind why this makes you feel cooler has to do with heat transfer, but without even knowing that, you were able to take a problem, use your imagination, and come up with a solution to help you. And that is engineering. And I think that's the really cool thing about engineering is that you do get to use your imagination and creativity to make things. And that's what you all are doing with Future Hacks. So we covered engineering, but what about sustainable development? So It is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So feel free to use the chat window if you'd like to share out about what are some needs of the present. One example that I'll touch on is clean water. So that's something that we all need as humans to survive. We need clean water to drink. We need clean water to wash our hands. If you think about in school, how often you're told to wash your hands to reduce the spread of germs, it's something that's very important. But if we are using water in a way that makes it so that people in 5, 10, 50, 100 years from now are not able to have water for themselves, that would not be sustainable. And if you've read or seen the movie The Lorax, that is very much a story about sustainable development. And ultimately, sustainability comes down to the three Ps, which are planet, people, and prosperity. So are you doing things in a way that benefit people, planet, and prosperity? So sadly, today, there are many people in the world who do not have their basic needs met. So 750 million people lack access to electricity. Without electricity, you all wouldn't be able to join the session today because you wouldn't have been able to charge your phone or your computers or maybe get access to the internet. Additionally, think about when it gets dark outside early during parts of the year. Not having electricity means you wouldn't be able to turn on lights to be able to do homework or even cooking food. If you don't have electricity, this might mean that you have to use something like firewood to cook. And if you're doing that in your home, you're going to get exposure to a lot of smoke, which can result in health complications down the line. Additionally, 4.8 million children die before age 5. This is due to a variety of reasons, but they include infectious diseases as well as malnutrition. 46% of the global population doesn't have access to adequate sanitation. So this is like the safe disposal of human waste. And 26% of the global population doesn't have access to clean water. And I want to highlight that this isn't just a problem that is outside of the United States, might immediately feel like these are problems that are really far away. But in the United States, an estimated 2.2 million Americans live in homes without running water or basic plumbing, and tens of millions of more people lack adequate sanitation facilities. So this isn't just something that's happening across the world. This is something that is happening very much in your own communities, in your own backyard. So I wanted to do a quick poll. I'm going to send this in the chat. So this, I'm just curious about, have any of you on the call heard of the Sustainable Development Goals? If you click on the link that I sent in the chat, you should be able to fill that out. So I'm going to, I submitted one earlier today, so I'm already biasing these results a little bit, so I'll put maybe. But I'll wait a second for everyone to get to respond to that. So we have some saying they sound familiar, some saying yes, they've heard about them. Reload the page. Yeah, maybe they sound familiar. It's okay if you've never heard of them because I'm going to be talking about them here in a second. Okay, awesome. Thank you everyone for completing the poll. Okay. Well, so the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs for short, consist of 17 interrelated goals that were adopted by the United Nations and all UN member states in 2015, with the goal of achieving them by 2030. So we're only 5 years away. And so these include things, you can see them there on the screen, things like no poverty, zero hunger, related to the future hacks, quality education, and The SDGs are important because they help us come together globally and say, these are pressing issues that we all need to work on, and they help to give us some direction. So, if you get more involved with sustainable development, the SDGs are something that definitely comes up all the time. And to help demonstrate how these are all kind of interrelated, I've been talking a bit about clean water and sanitation. So if you don't have access to clean water, you're more likely to get sick. SDG 3, good health and well-being. If you're often sick, you might not be able to go to school, which would impact SDG 4, quality education, which could then impact your job opportunities down the line, SDG 8. But all of these are interconnected, and we know with climate change, they continue to be impacted based on what's going on in the world. But what does all of this have to do with engineering? So wanted to do a breakout room activity. Maybe we could, Sanj, if you could support me in creating 2 breakout rooms. And during this breakout room activity, you would just introduce yourself, choose one SDG. So if you Google SDGs, you'll see the list of 17. You can always choose ones that are top of mind, like quality education or clean water, and then discuss how engineers might play a role in advancing that SDG. And then when we get back, we'll do a report out. So if everyone could join, and I'll head over to the room as well. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I know we all end up in the same room at the end there. I was wondering if anyone wanted to share out, maybe Arthi and Sanj, I know you were in a room together.
Yeah, we were talking about sustainable development goals, um, and kind of like what they are and how they can help the world.
Oh, great. Were you able to select one and think about kind of the role of engineers or
Oh
more just,
yeah, we talked about like education and how like hackathons like this and I guess like how other students are trying to like expand that. Yeah, especially in STEM.
yeah, yeah, great. Arthi, yeah, anything
Yeah.
to add?
No, actually, I was a listener here because this is new to me, and I saw the progress that had been happening. She showed me like for past so many years what was the progress, and it was pretty interesting. Yeah, definitely, I would love to share this recorded session to my son after he's preparing. He's actually preparing his presentation, so yeah, I would definitely share it.
Great. Tammy or Rick, you want to share with the others what we discussed a little bit?
I mean, I wasn't there for much, but what we did discuss was like accessibility being an issue um, for people to access solutions that engineers do come up with. So barriers like cost and accessibility needs to be a priority so that it could achieve the sustainable development goal number 1.
Yeah, it was mostly about that and how engineers can help with the state of um people in poverty and area not areas like countries and like India. So
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you sharing out. Um, well, awesome. So let me jump back into my presentation. So we went through the SDGs and essentially, there's so much overlap between what engineers can do. They really are, if we're thinking about making sure that everyone has their basic needs met, and that we do so in a way that everyone in the future continues to have their needs met. Engineers are essential as part of this, and I think that's something that is hopefully a big takeaway from this session is just how important engineers are in actually making the world a better place. Um, so I wanted to share a little bit more about E4C. At Engineering for Change, we try to provide resources through our website and our different programs to help engineers develop the skills necessary to practice sustainable development. And what I wanted to do with some of the time in today's session is do a walkthrough of one of the resources on our website that might be helpful for you all as you consider your project for future hacks. So on our website, we have something called the Solutions Library, which is a digital library with over 1,200 solutions that are addressing sustainable development challenges. And this is a useful resource to understand what are products that are already out there that are addressing particular challenges so that you can avoid reinventing the wheel, so to speak, and you can learn from what others have already done that's been successful. Maybe it's some really cool technology that's being deployed in a specific country, like India or somewhere in Latin America, and you're able to say, oh, we don't have that here. Maybe that's something that we could learn from. You can see in the picture, these are splash stations, which are hand washing stations that are used in various parts of the world, particularly with children, to encourage good hygiene practices. So in our solutions library, we have 8 different sectors that the technologies fall under. This includes sanitation, water, health, ICT, which is information communication technologies. So essentially, excuse me, how we share information with each other. So you can think like through our phones or computers. Agriculture, energy, transportation, and habitat. And so wanted to take a little bit of time to do a walkthrough of the solutions library. So if you go to engineeringforchange.org, I will share this in the chat. You do have to be a member to access all of the solutions library, but being a member is free. And it's pretty quick to sign up. But once you're on our website under knowledge, you can go to E4C Solutions Library. And when you scroll down, you will see all of the solutions here. They're loading right now. You can filter by SDG. So in our group, we're talking about no poverty. So you could filter by that, and you could look at, okay, what are the different solutions that are tackling no poverty? So this one, Plant Village, it's an open access library and crop health. So this is helping people grow their own food. And there is an associated app with it, tackling no poverty and SDG too. Additionally, I wanted to go through the sectors here. So what I think might be particularly helpful given the focus of uh, this hackathon on AI in education. If you go to ICT, again, that's information communication technology, we have specific sectors or subsectors on education. So we have e-education, which stands for electronic education, and we also have M-education, which is basically education monitoring. So if I go there and then apply filters, I'm actually going to go up here and remove ICT, so it's just these sectors here. You can see that we have 22 solutions that fall under these categories, and they affect and are deployed in 21 different countries, which is pretty cool. So I wanted to show an example of one of them. So M-Shul is a mobile learning platform designed to improve the performance of students across Kenya and sub-Saharan Africa specifically. And so it uses AI and SMS, so like text, and analyzes student progress and performance and provides personalized learning content to the user according to their abilities. It uses machine learning, so AI, to understand each individual child's competency and delivers the right lesson for them on the right time. So when you think about sustainable development, you think about some people not having reliable access to internet. This is one way that this technology kind of fills in that gap by saying we can do this through text, which I think is pretty cool. And so you can read about the products in these different categories up here, but we have like a screenshot here. You can see that this is all done through text. And so this was something that was developed based on some identified need in the community to have access to education resources. And it is powered and improved through AI, which is pretty cool. So if we go back to the solutions library, I just encourage you to look around. There's a lot of really, really cool products that are out there that are really taking into consideration what are the needs of specific communities and how can we use technology, how can we use engineering to solve those problems. And so we see things around bricks and pellets. This is energy solutions for those who might otherwise have to rely on like firewood. We see different technologies as it relates to agriculture. So anyways, I'll pause here to see if there's any questions. But hope this resource is helpful. Thank you, Arthi, for sharing in the chat that this is helpful.
So my question is regarding all these products, especially if I want to share this information around. Or all these products are, because I right now I'm from my phone, so I couldn't much access about this. So are all these products free to all the users around worldwide?
Yeah, so our solutions library itself compiles what is existing out there, and then under each solution, it will have, let me find one, like GrainMate, for example. It will have
Okay.
a description of the product, and then it'll have market suggested retail price. So there's some products that are completely free.
I see.
There are apps you can download, things like that. But we have, for those that do cost money, what is the cost? And what is the distribution or implementation organization? Kind of who do you have to get in touch with to get this product?
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Any other questions? Okay. Then I just wanted to end here, and I can stay on to answer any questions or just stay on to chat with any of you. But we do have a number of resources on our website that may be helpful as you're preparing for your project with Future Hacks. So one is the Solutions Library. I'll just put that in the chat. Another one is our Introduction to Engineering for Global Development course. So we have a really great course that is on our website under Knowledge and Courses, where it goes through the whole design process from plan, learn, design, realize, and sustain, and provides guidance and kind of considerations at each one of those stages. Additionally, on our website, we have news and insights. So you can read about the latest and greatest that's going on all over the world. And so you can look through these. You can sort by SDG or sector, depending on what you're interested in. And then lastly, wanted to highlight Engineering Dreams. So this is a really, really fantastic resource from ASME, which is the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And from this website, you can learn more just about the engineering profession itself. And you can kind of explore what is possible. So I know I talked about sustainable development. I think there's a lot of kind of thinking around that can go into any engineering job out there, but specifically, if you want to learn more about mechanical engineering, there's different parts of the website where it'll highlight like environmental engineering. What does that mean? So this is another good resource just to learn more about what is engineering and what could a potential career in this look like, or even just to explore if you're interested. So with that, I will open up for questions, or if anyone wants to stay on and just chat, happy to do so. I appreciate you all coming and joining on a Saturday. So
Thank you.
yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks so much. It was actually a very useful information. But I would appreciate if you can like post all these links in the WhatsApp group that we have, so that way it's not lost. Yeah.
Yeah, and also this recording will be posted on AI Go Learning's YouTube video or YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I'll be sure to post these links.
Perfect.
Well, awesome. If there isn't any other questions or anything, then maybe we can call it here. But yeah, I hope this is helpful.
Yeah, it was helpful. Actually, I'm doing something similar to this. Like, I'm part of a board for an organization called Pratham, and we do education for unprivileged kids back in India. So I know what you're exactly talking about when you said about the education tools that are available. But I was just looking if it's something, because we also have our own tool. We are also bringing up, trying to implement AI. for the current one. So far, we have been using our own education system, like through apps, but now we are planning to have, it's AI in the future, and we are trying to implement that. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, on our website, you can suggest a solution. So if what you're developing gets to the point where, it could be something that we could share on the solutions library, we'd be happy to do that.
Sure. This is something we are going to launch it like in another month, and it's absolutely free for the world out there. So once it's launched, I will definitely post it there.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. From the solutions library, there's a submit a solution and you could share more details about that.
Of course, of course.
Oh, that's
Sure.
fantastic work that you're doing. I'm really, really happy to hear that.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. All right. So thank you so much. I'm going to log off, and definitely would love to share this video with my kids. Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Okay, thanks so much.